हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज का मेरा टॉपिक है एनवायरमेंटल फिलॉसफी, जिस पे कि हम डिस्कस करेंगे एनवायरमेंटल एथिक्स पे। सो एनवायरमेंटल एथिक्स इंट्रोडक्शन। As you know that meaning of environment is total surrounding. The word environment has been taken from French word environ, which means surrounding. Environmental may be defined as the sum total of all surrounding of a living organism. It means environment means all the things around us, living and non-living both, including the natural forces and other living things which provide conditions for the development and the growth. The term ethics has been taken from the ancient Greek word ethos, which means habit or the custom. Ethics, in the broad sense, alluding to the worry that the people have dependably had for making sense of how best to live. The logician Socrates is cited. The most essential thing is not the life, but rather the great life. So, in this para, I explained about the what is environment. Taken from environ means total surrounding, including living and non-living things. And the second word is the ethics, means habit or the customs, our habitual behavior about the environment. Now come to the next para. Environmental ethics consist of the study of normative issues and principles relating to the human interactions with the environment and their consequences. As you know that every component of Earth is being deteriorated, degraded, and losing its quality due to the man-made activities. Many environmentalists are searching for some remedial measures to conserve the environment. The motivation for the environmental ethics was the first Earth Day in 1970 when the environmentalists started urging the philosophers who were involved with the environmental groups to do something about the environmental ethics. It means the resources on the earth are limited, but our population are increasing day by day. So we competing for the resources. That's why earth resources are deteriorating day by day. So the environmentalist urging the philosophers that make some rules that all the peoples can accept and that helps to save our environment. The first step is in this 1970 when environmentalists and philosophers both united and decided to celebrate the Earth Day on every 22 December, 22nd December, every year, Earth Day. A growing trend, a growing trend has been to combine the study of both ecology and economics to provide a basis for the sustainable decision on the use of natural resources, environmental issues requiring a consideration of the ethics and moral, because it is observed that the in developmental activities certainly lead into different types of pollution, diseases, economic losses, and biodiversity degradation. Environmental ethics try to define the moral basis of environmental responsibilities. There are so many examples relating to the environmental ethics, and we can understand environmental ethics through following examples. For example, there is currently enough food in the world to feed everyone sufficiently. It is unethical to allow some people to starve while others have more than enough. When you look the trees of people, what do you think? Is it related to our culture, religious, ethical values? Of course, yes. Our ethical values tells us we should not destroy the trees like the people, tulsi, bargat, neems, and other trees of religious importance. We can observe that the ethics and morals are not always the same. So, in the above example, we see that our moral values helps to protect the environment. And this is the important thing. If we teach our people that environment is not different, it is related to your religion. it has a religious importance, then the people must protect it. So this, the ficus religious or the people tree is example that the people conserve this plant because of religious reason. Next, for the different communities, societies, and countries, thus it is often difficult to clarify that which one is religious and which one is not, in which our ethics and morals are same or different. Now come to the next page. For example, some individuals think that situation of energy at the global level is serious and they have to reduce their consumption. At the same time, other people don't believe there is a problem and say, do not modify their energy use and think they will use energy for a long time. Means some people think that if we reduce our use of energy, this energy is supplied to the needy one. But some believe that this is not necessary. Energy is sufficient and we can use in any way. So morals and ethics are different in this case. Another case is some people think that a firecracker during the different celebration is not good for nature, but views of other people are just opposite. They think that marriage never happens daily. So we have to celebrate by cracking the fire. The earth is valuable for both the nature and the society that occur on it. Evolutionary history has been going on for the billions of years. While cultural history is only about 100 or the 1,000-year-old, it is believed that the cultural, traditional, religion, society, economies are determined by the nature and environmental components. On the other hand, activities performed as the cultural, religiously, socially, economically, and traditionally influence a natural environment. Morality refers to the human ethics, which pertaining to matters of good and bad, often referred to as the right or the wrong, used in the three contexts like individual conscience, system of principles, and the judgment. These three commonly called moral values. Morality is a collection of beliefs as to what constituting a good life. Moral reflects a cultural predominant feeling on ethical issues. Most cultures have reverence for the life and hold that all the individuals have a right to live. Moral codes are often complex. Definition of right and the wrongs that are based upon well-defined values systems and dictating proper personal conduct. The scope of environmental ethics is broad, covering area the realm of action, policies, and the lifestyles which impact on the natural environment. The spatial or the local extent of its scope is also extensive, as the biosphere of Earth for the space probes and their related debris resulting from the human interactions with the nature. This has, this has extended the realm of environmental ethics to distinct zone of solar system. The temporal scope of the environmental ethics extending for as long as human action can exercise any kind of impact as long as something of the value remains on which significant impacts can be made. While this may sound like a purely theoretical point, nuclear energy generation and experimentation is already bringing into the being radioactive substances with the half-lives of millions of years with predictable harmful effect on the human beings. Environmental ethics also studying the past in order to discover the traditions which often underlie the current values and which often turn out to supply limits to the possible changes in ethical attitudes are resources for such changes. In this, we will discuss about the environmental ethics in different societies, environmental degradation due to the unethical activities, and remedial measures for the environmental conservation. So in all above examples, I'm trying to explain that in some cases, we think that this is good, and some people think that this is not good. For example, nuclear energy, some people think that this is necessary for our energy, but most of the social NGOs thinking that this is dangerous for humans because their half-life of millions of years. And if any accident happens, nuclear disaster is very harmful. It is like a nuclear bomb. Every nuclear reactor is a nuclear bomb if it is uncontrolled. Now, next come to the meaning and the definition of environmental ethics. Meaning of environmental ethics is a simply ethical relationship of human being with the natural environment. Ethical relationship of the human being with the natural environmental is the environmental ethics. It came into the existence as subject in early 1960 when the anthropogenic activities such as the poor agricultural practices, industrialization, urbanization, excessive use of pesticide and insecticides was impacting environmental badly. Russell Carlson published a book, namely Silent Springs, in the year 1962 to aware the people about the impact of chemical pesticides on public health and leading to the destruction of the wildlife. Paul Ehrlich published a book entitled The Population Bomb in the year 1968, which warned of the devastating effect of the increasing population on the natural resources of Earth. Definition of environmental ethics in very simple words. Environmental ethics may define as to set the moral values towards the environment. Environmental ethics is a branch of applied philosophy that deals with the conceptual foundations of environmental values, as well as the more concrete issues surrounding social attitudes, actions, and policies to protect and sustain biodiversity and ecological systems. Environmental ethics is the part of environmental philosophy which considers extending the traditional boundaries of ethics from solely including humans to include the non-human world. It exerts influence on a large range of disciplines, including environmental laws, environmental sociology, ecotheology, ecological economics, ecology, and environmental geography. Environmental ethics is the field of applied ethics that discussing the reflecting and reasons of values, rules, norms, criteria for dealing with the animal and inanimate entities in a responsible way. So this is another definition of environmental ethics, in which environmental ethics is the field of applied ethics that discussing, reflecting, and reasons the value of rules and norms, criteria for dealing with the animate means living beings and inanimate not living entities in a responsible way. Environmental ethics is the base of reasoning. For example, the following field of action within the society: environmental protection, animal protection, nature protection, animal rights, and sustainability issues all are related with the environmental ethics. So in short, in this page, The Silent Spring, the name of this book reflecting, written by the Russell Carson in 1962, it means the spring season, which have many flowers. That's why we say spring season. Become silent because of overuse of the pesticides. These pesticides causing killing of all larvae or animals like the butterflies, birds, etc. So if there is no butterfly in the atmosphere, then the garden with the flower are useless. It seems silent. The nature is silent because the chitter of the bird is absent. In the same way, the next book written by Paul Ehrlich in 1968, The Population Bomb. Why they choose this title? Because increasing population is like a bomb that struggle for the earth resources. And this causes degradation of the earth resources very fast. So our environment is totally disturbed because of this issue. So in this topic, environmental ethics, I'm trying to explain what is environment and what are the ethics, our moral values to protect this. Thank you, friends. If you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you.